everybody, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be discussing a subject I see very few people talk about, despite how genuinely crazy it was when that system was in place. Or, well, a lack of one. Because the RainWings used to be horrible at keeping track of their dragonets. While this has changed for good under Glory's rule, if you were born into the Rainforest tribe before she took the throne, there's literally a chance you could have gotten lost as an egg and nobody would have realized. So, how did it end up getting that bad? And what were the results of their carelessness? I'll be bringing up that and more. But before we begin, a huge shout out to my patrons. Driver95, Thistle, Noobto, Piper Nuke, Avril, Pancake, Ascarada, Adequin, Alex Cleaver, Shadow Hunter, That One Seawing, Moonclaw, and Isaac. Thank you all so much for supporting me. Links to their social medias are in the description down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. To put into perspective just how terrible their lack of care was, RainWings used to do venom tests before having eggs together to see if they were blood relatives or not. In a lot of cases, dragons didn't know who their siblings, parents, cousins, aunts, uncles, and grandparents were. While the tribe's idea of everyone coming together to take care of dragonets is actually pretty nice, they went about it in such a lazy and irresponsible way. You could have fallen in love with a dragon that was your literal sibling, and the only thing stopping you was a venom test that said, hey, you guys are related, and then they'd stop. But RainWings didn't bother to know who they were related to, except in scenarios like that. There was no formal family structure, but it got out of hand very fast. Even though everyone pitched in to help, if other dragons didn't like you, then you probably weren't going to have any guarantee of affection or protection. That's what happened to Kinkajou. All eggs were placed in the community hatchery, where RainWings would check every few days to see if any had hatched. Wow. Imagine being a newborn dragonet and someone just forgot to see if you had come out of your egg. It was just more of a chore for the adults, and they'd even forget to look. Yikes. No one was kept track of, meaning if an egg fell out of the group nest or ended up taken, you probably weren't going to be found. Nobody even knew Glory existed until she returned to the rainforest. There were no parents searching for a missing dragonet. That's what pained her for a long time. Many eggs went missing over the years, as this is something the new queen worked hard to prevent from ever happening again. The irresponsibility and lack of accountability didn't even end with just the children either. As we learn in the Hidden Kingdom, several RainWings have been taken from their home and imprisoned by the Nightwings, and barely anyone noticed. It was only Mangrove's determined efforts to find his wife, something honestly rare in the tribe, to get Glory's attention to the issue. Kids, adults, and elders alike vanished without a trace, and no one even noticed they were really gone. That's what happens when you don't value your dragons, and instead choose what's easy. There were 17 taken, 3 of which died, and the rest were so traumatized. Even when Glory told the tribe about the missing RainWings and how she had been taken as an egg, no one even cared. They believed the missing dragons were just somewhere off in the rainforests. Magnificent only let Glory start her hunt for them just to get Mangrove to stop annoying her. His wife was being experimented on, cold and alone, and not even one of the queens minded the thought of that very real threat on her people. Thankfully, one of Glory's biggest focuses is changing the RainWing system. The tribe used to be much different, but they took a softer approach due to war, changing their culture drastically throughout the centuries. And while they have some great ideas on how to live life, they need that structure and accountability they lacked. Dragons should be cared for no matter what, and never forgotten. So, because of that Dragonet of Destiny, there are guards all around the kingdom, ensuring what happened to her and her friends will never occur again. And the RainWings are much better off for it. They can keep the pacifistic and ideal lifestyle their more recent ancestors chose, while also respecting one another and changing to be the best versions of themselves they can be. But that's it for this video. What about reigning life shocked you the most, whether for good or bad? Do you like the way the tribe is headed with Glory at the helm? How could someone keep improving them even after her reign? Let me know down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.